So the breaking news this morning that many Americans are waking up to: massive internet outage impacting major websites, major apps, gaming platforms, including Amazon, AT&T. Just look at this list: Delta Airlines, Disney Plus, Facebook, Hulu, Snapchat, United Airlines, Venmo. More than even what you're talking than I'm even mentioning there. At the center of this is Amazon Web Services, that major provider of cloud services for all sorts of companies. AWS says now it has identified the root cause, and also saying this, that we continue to observe recovery across most of the affected AWS services. We continue to work towards full resolution and will provide updates as we have more information to share. Said another, we're not saying a lot right now. Let's get over to CNN's Bryn Gingras. I started noticing this morning on multiple levels as it was unfolding. What's happening?
Yeah, and that's basically it, right? So they connect the business to us, the consumer, through apps on your phone. So if you're waking up, you're tapping on an app, you're like, how come it's not working?
Exactly.
This is likely the problem.
You're getting like the ring of death.
Yeah, the ring of death.
Exactly.
They're actually saying, please submit to technical issues. Keep doing that, even though we're not answering them right now, or we are trying to get to them. There's basically a huge backlog. As you just said, there's been some significant progress in this. This happened way overnight, so there has been some significant progress, but still there's a huge backlog of all these apps and all these companies that are looking to basically get restored. Yeah. So there's even issues at the airport. I'm hearing about people who are trying to check into their flights and they can't because they can't do it through the phone. So there's so many different companies, as you just listed a whole bunch of them: Amazon, AT&T, Delta, gaming services, right, like Roblox, even cryptocurrency companies are being affected. Coinbase essentially saying, don't worry, your money is safe. So there are companies now having to also just kind of respond to consumers at this point. But like you just said, what Amazon Web Services is saying is that they are seeing significant signs of recovery, and they're continuing to work towards that full resolution, and they're going to continue to provide information, as we have been seeing overnight, continuous updates. But like I said, they are still a huge backlog here. So if you wake up and you can't figure out why something is not working, this is likely the culprit, and we're going to continue.
I mean, I started noticing it on various apps around like 3:30-ish this morning.
Why were you up at 3?
Yes, this is what time we wake up around here. But it really did start cascading. Like, I even tried to get on the Wall Street Journal website, couldn't get on there for a period of time. So
I mean, AWS makes up 30% of this global market space. So I mean, it is huge. I actually was doing a lot of research, and I can't believe how big this is, and it just really points to how fragile this infrastructure is should something happen like this.
I mean, understandably sparking fears of like vulnerabilities, of course, but let's see what happens throughout the morning. But Bryn's on top of this for us. Thank you so much, Bryn. GB.
All right, with us now, Lance Lulinoff, editor-at-large for Tech Radar. Lance, great to see you. Kate says she noticed when she was reading the Wall Street Journal. I was reading FanDuel. I was on FanDuel this morning, and that wasn't working. But everything from the Journal to FanDuel to our big, beautiful walls here, tech going crazy just about everywhere, including in our studios. Can you explain how it is that this one thing can affect so many different things?
Well, first of all, the most important site that's down is Starbucks. That's number one. Number two, AWS sits in the middle of everything. It is, all of these companies, it's like why build the house, right? You're just going to live in it. And that's really how these companies work. They all have offloaded their web services, their cloud-based services to AWS, which is great because it's more affordable. It's also more scalable than they could do on their own. So that sounds great, except when it fails. And it feels like sometimes a single point of failure, because everything goes down at once. And it's not just the services that you're accessing. Your smart home stops working. Ring which is actually owned by Amazon, is one of the impacted services. So your smart thermostat, your smart video doorbell, they just don't work without the internet. They're not designed that way. That's the thing. We've designed everything to work with this constant connectivity. And when you pull that big plug, everything basically becomes dumb.
When something does go wrong, in terms that non-tech people can understand, what is it? I mean, I don't think it's someone pulling a plug at a data center. What is the glitch that causes all of this?
I mean, it's like a translation service almost. It's like, okay, hi, you're trying to reach me. Who are you? And there's something that says, here's who I am. And they do a handshake and everything's okay. Well, that's the part of the service that basically broke. Where they couldn't identify each other. That one interconnection couldn't work. And this happened apparently in an East Coast area, an East Coast service center. They may have been in Virginia, But that one failure has had a global impact. I've been talking to people in the UK all morning, and they've been dealing with this because they're up earlier, longer than us.
My son in Taiwan can't get on Snapchat this morning. I mean, this truly is a global phenomenon. So what vulnerabilities then does this reveal? We don't know what caused this. We have no reason to believe it was a bad actor. But how attractive is this to a bad actor when they see this?
Right. Well, this is the problem. I continue to be confused about why there is not instant redundancy when you can have something that's seemingly so small or so localized have such a cascading and global impact. And we had CrowdStrike last year where all of these systems were running Windows and they all failed, and banks and airports failed. And it was like, well, why is it like that? And we don't seem to have a good answer for this yet. And I think part of the problem is the more consolidation we have and the fewer sort of competing web services we have, the more of a problem this is going to be. And yeah, it's not a good look. You certainly don't want someone to look at this and say, a bad actor, and say, hey, if I just make this one thing go down, I could create a cascading effect and all things can go down. And this could impact infrastructure. And that is a scary thought.
It is. We are learning more and more about this throughout the morning as more sites do appear to be coming back online. Not all yet, though. We're watching it very carefully. Lance, hope you get your Starbucks soon. Thank you so much for being with us.